Hello, home lovers. How are you today? I'm Nikki Kane, and this is Nikki Kane Lifestyle. Today, I wanted to bring you a few important steps in regards to buying and selling real estate. And that is because, as an agent, I've been doing this for a very long time, and I do it every single day. And I have things that's just like in my head, and anyone can forget that their client is not well versed in real estate. And we always have to remind our client the things that are out there. Can't take it for granted that you know. I don't think it's smart for a buyer or seller to take it for granted that they know. And it's important that you bring some important issues to the table. First issue is when you're selling your home, make sure your agent that you chose is willing to cooperate with other agents. Sometimes an agent can be really excited about her marketing or the way he runs a deal or the excitement of the market, and they may not be so willing to cooperate with other agents. But that's not a good thing for the seller. When you list a home with your agent, there's a pretty good chance that another agent is going to be the one bringing a buyer to your home. So if the agent is excited, it's a hot market, people are buying the home, they're not really worried about it, and they're uncooperative with other agents, that can sting in your very deal. So let me give you an example. Beautiful house for sale. I wanted to do a video walkthrough. Market's hot. Agent's feeling great. She actually denied me the chance to do a video walkthrough for my client. Told my client, well, you know what? They're not allowing a video walkthrough. Maybe you can come down and see it. They live about an hour and a half away. And of course, my client was like, no, I don't even want to see the house. Why would they not let you show me the house? So she did not see the house. This is about a month or so ago. And today, as I was searching for a home for another client, the house is still on the market. The house is still on the market. My client bought, she fell in love with another house. It could have been that house. That agent, in error and maybe a little ego and a little bit of excitement that the market was a little hot, actually hurt her seller by being unreasonable about letting a video walkthrough take place. Always tell your agent any questions if you have. Before you say no, ask me. If it's gonna help my home to sell and you're not hurting me, go ahead and do it. Have that open house. Let people see it. Let it show. But if you have a no for someone, make sure you are running that no by me first. In another incident, there was a home that was for sale. This was in New York. My client was pretty excited about it, wanted to buy the house, speaking to the agent, and I asked him if a number would kind of hit the money on the table already. And he was very short. His exact words, I'm not. The agent said, I am not. And it's really not about him, is it? I'm not getting into bidding war. We're not taking any more offers. Okay. Well, he called me back. Hey, listen, the deal fell through. Is your client still interested? And my client really wanted that house. And I called my client, hey, the deal fell through, that the house is back on the market. My client took it very personally. He's like, no, he can keep his house and I can sell it what he wants to. And he bought another house, and that house also sat, and it reduced in price, and it sold for a lower price. My client at first was willing to give a higher price for it, and then it sold for a lower price because the agent decided that he was not going to get into a bidding war. So for sellers, when your agent's there, make sure they're cooperating with other brokers. Another classic incident is listing. So of course, there's no set price on real estate. Of course, we know that, but the most common commission split is 6%. And from that 6% that your agent gets, they will give a percentage to another agent, whoever brings the buyer. Agents, when the market is good or sometimes just out of the blue, they will offer the other agent 2% and keep 4%. Now, this is not a good strategy. Why? Because agents are still working. They're still working for money to pay their bills, to feed their children, to sustain life. So it's actually a bit of a sting when they see the 2%. And even though most agents, like I have a habit, I won't even look at the percentage. I just don't want it to sway me. I'm just looking for the houses. I'm sending my client the houses. Which house do you want? I'm not concerned with what they're paying me because I don't want my mind to get muddled with any of that. But in all reality, if you were working for the best interest of your seller, you would not play that kind of game. A lot of people, maybe it's not malicious, they don't know your seller, it's nothing personal, but the point is they're working to actually feed their families. So when they see things like 1.5, 2%, and there's a house equivalent to the one that's offering 2% and the other house is offering the 50-50 split, the 3%, maybe an incentive or so, that's the house they're gonna present a lot of the times, even unconsciously. And a lot of the times it is unconscious. Like, have you ever gone to a store and you see something and you really like it, but it's a really high price, and you see something that may be quite equivalent and it's a much better price, you kind of automatically go to the one that has a better price. You kind of automatically go to the one that's a better value, the one that's a better deal. So when your agent is listing your home, make sure you're asking them, what percentage are you offering cooperating agents? And finally, in regards to cooperating agents, I have a new system. I'm super excited about it. It's not new to everybody. I think a lot of people have heard about the Matterport, the walkthrough system. Matterport is kind of the OG of the system, but there's a newer one, and it's a lot more impressive, and it's very beautiful, and it will definitely enhance the sale of a house. I asked a colleague today, she's in my office. I asked a colleague today if I can video that house, because it's a great system. I love for my clients to see the actual walkthrough. I have people very interested, people coming, most of my clients come from different parts of the country, they're not in the state, and I think in a little bit of fear of her not, like sharing the listing, or there's some type of little trepidation, she said no. Now, in all fairness, why would you say no? This is going to enhance the possibility of a better sale for your seller. That's the bottom line. Ask your agent, make sure, listen, I know you love the game. I know you love the real estate. I want to make sure that my needs are coming first here. I want everybody's eyes in my house, if that's what you want. I want everybody's eyes in my house. I want to get the best deal I can get. I want to make sure you're cooperating. So again, before you say no, say all the yeses in the world. Yes, come and tour my house. Yes, have a second tour. Yes, bring your friends. Yes, tell everybody about it. But before you say no, make sure you bring that question to me. Buyers, there's a few pieces of information that are so important that I'm noticing that buyers may not be aware of. When you're searching for a mortgage, search for multiple mortgages. When you're searching for a mortgage, yes, you go for the first mortgage, you're gonna take a credit hit, it's gonna drip your score down a tiny little bit. But when you're searching for a home, you can compare those mortgages, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 companies, and not get another hit. Your credit score is not gonna move from that point. You're gonna be able to really look at who's offering you what and get the best deal on the table. I'm so surprised when clients say, Nikki, I don't wanna go with that bank because I don't want my credit to get any lower. No, it's not gonna get lower. You're already searching for a house. You are allowed to compare and seek the best rate you can get, and your credit will not be affected. Go ahead and get 2, 3, 4 comparisons to get the best mortgage for you. Number 2, when you see a good deal, a deal can be made most of the time. Don't let something small turn you away. I had a client, she absolutely loved the house. The carpets were a mess. So she was deterred from the home. So I asked her, well, why don't you want to put an offer in? You love the home, what's the problem? I don't have the money to replace that carpet. That carpet is really nasty, I couldn't deal with it, and after I buy this home, I don't have the extra money to replace the carpet in a 3,500 square foot home. Oh, okay. We can write in a carpet contingency. We can ask them to have somebody replace the carpet, and then they pay it out of their closing at the end of the sale. There's always a way to get a deal done. Yes, 2 people have to agree on that deal, but people don't understand that there's always a way to get a deal done. That brings me to another point. When you're asking for contingencies, do not always make it about money. This is very important. When you close a house and you're getting financing, so let's say you're getting VA financing, and you make a deal Buyers do this often, and it's really important they don't get tricked by this. A lot of builders will offer $10,000, $15,000 toward closing. Well, guess what? Lenders will only allow a certain amount toward closing. Maybe a house, the closing cost is only going to be $4,000. If the closing is only going to be $4,000, guess what? You're getting $4,000 off the closing. You're not getting $10,000. You're not getting $15,000. And then there are some costs associated with closing that cannot be covered by a seller's contingency. So be really careful about those little things, or ask your agent, is this feasible? Or your mortgage guy in a case like this. Okay, is this feasible? They said they're gonna give me $10,000 at closing for the new carpet. Well, no, they cannot. It's a VA loan. It's only a certain percentage. You can only get $4,000 back. Ask them to replace the carpet, and then they pay the contractor at the end of the closing. Or some other creative way to get what you want and still be really aware of what's going on. Also, if you really want the house, do not be afraid to put down a bigger down payment, a bigger earnest money down. A lot of people get freaked out when somebody asks them for more earnest money down. Don't let that freak you out. If you want the house, put the earnest money down. It could create a stronger bid. It could be the winning offer. If you put $1,000 down, earnest money down in a house, or you put $5,000 earnest money down in the house, all that money is going toward closing. You're not paying extra for the house. This is simply securing your deal. I've had a couple of clients that it just freaks them out to put more money down, and they really want the house, and the seller ends up going with another deal. A deal that may have been the exact same deal as theirs, but my client wants to put $1,000, their client wants to put $5,000. The $5,000 just looks stronger. Somebody can walk away from $1,000 quicker than they'll walk away from $5,000. So they trusted the $5,000. If you want the house and they're asking you for a bigger earnest money down, and you can offer to put a bigger earnest money down, you don't want to lose the bid, put the earnest money. It is no different than if you put $1,000 or $5,000. At the end of the day, it's going to be the same amount of money at closing. You're not paying extra money. And finally, this is a biggie. At closing, when you are choosing your closing attorney, make sure that attorney fits you. Make sure they can match up to your needs. Right now I have a deal that just got pushed back because my client is not in the country. And guess what? The buyer's attorney knows nothing about a virtual closing. Now, of course, in today, again, people take things for granted, and they just think everybody's going with today's flow, and everybody is just kind of up on the future. Everybody's Elon Musk in the head, and everybody's within the digital age, but that's not the case. A lot of attorneys, they've been doing a lot of years, they're kind of set in their ways. They have not gone further in what's going on, and it was amazing that there was no option for a virtual closing. It delayed a closing that did not have to be delayed. It should have been too easy. So when you're choosing your attorney, make sure you're asking all the right questions. Let's say you're not in the state. Again, I deal with so much of that. You're not in the state, you have no intention of being here for the closing. You don't have a POA in mind, or you don't know if you can be there. You maybe can get there. A mail away is a little tedious. Ask your attorney if they do virtual closings. Well, that is it, guys. That's information I wanted to bring you in regards to what to know when you're buying and selling a home. I hope it's very helpful. If you have any questions, always feel free to contact me, whether it's by text or DM, or drop me an email. Of course, if you want to buy or sell a house in Columbia and surrounding area, I'm your girl. Give me a call. But if you want to buy or sell a house anywhere else, I can get you the absolute best referrals. And you will get an agent that will treat you as good as I will. Okay, that is it. Thank you so much for hearing my tips in real estate. Hearing my tips that are really important to buyers and sellers. Again, if you have any questions, drop me a line, and I'll talk to you soon.